What is consciousness? And what does it mean to truly live life awake? Welcome to Clarity to Consciousness, a podcast where we transcend beyond stereotypes, embracing a deeper understanding. I'm your host, Kristen Griffiths, a fellow seeker on this path. Join me on a journey as we dive into conversations with experts, unraveling stigmas, and expanding our awareness to something profound. This is your invitation to open your mind with me as together we bring clarity to the fascinating complexities of human consciousness. Welcome back to Clarity to Consciousness, the show that seeks to clarify complex topics of human consciousness. I'm your host, Kristen Leigh Griffiths, and today we're diving deep into a topic that fascinates scientists, spiritual seekers, and even intelligence agencies, and that is remote viewing. But before we get into it, I have to say this episode, it's very special to me. This is my 30th episode, and I have to say, this episode, I couldn't have asked for a better guest to celebrate this moment. She is somebody who is actually my very first guest, so you may know her name, but she's somebody that's incredibly gifted. She's somebody who I truly admire and I love, and she really holds a dear place in my heart. So I'm excited to bring her in. She's an internationally known psychic medium, a remote viewer. She works with law enforcement agencies and families around the world to successfully assist in missing person cases using her intuitive gifts. And she also teaches others how to tap into their own intuitive abilities, helping them to trust the guidance within and remember the truth of who they are. Please welcome Patricia Monna back to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me, and congratulations on your 30th podcast. That is absolutely amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, you took a chance on me by being my very first guest, and that really means a lot. And the fact that you said yes again, it really touches me.
It's my honor to be here and to support you any way that I can. So thank you.
Yeah. So if people haven't heard the first episode, can you just give a little bit of background to who you are and how you came into your intuitive gifts?
Sure. So, well, I guess that kind of goes back to the beginning because really, I had no idea that my reality was any different than anyone else's. I was actually a palliative oncology nurse for 13 years before I jumped over and opened my own business as a psychic medium and remote viewer. And when I was nursing, I noticed that I could walk into a room and literally scan a person from head to toe and know what was wrong with them, know when they were going to pass away, if they were going to pass away. I just knew. But I actually thought that that was normal. I thought all nurses could do that. Like I said, it's, I didn't know that my reality was any different than anyone else's until I started asking questions. Because it's not like I hear voices inside of my head that aren't mine. We all have that voice inside of our head that converses with us all day long. I didn't realize that the information that was coming through, because it sounds like my own voice. It sounds like me talking to me. And it's just like all of a sudden, oh, I know the answer. I know where that person is. I know where they're buried, and it just came in such a natural way. And I think God that spirit did it that way, because if I did see ghosts, walking through walls and heard disembodied voices, I'd think it was crazy. I'd be in Pinocchio instead of, doing what I do. So I'm glad that I was able to determine, when an intuitive hit or information is coming in. But yeah, I switched over in 2011. I bought a holistic wellness center in Calgary, and that changed my life. It completely, when I delved in and just, allowed spirit to lead me, fast forward 14 years later, and here I am. And I absolutely love what I do. Thank you for the intro. I do work with missing person cases. I have helped law enforcement from around the world, RCMP, CPS, everywhere. I've helped down in the States and Australia. And the thing is with remote viewing is that there's no such thing as time. So you can use this to look back 3,000 years in history. And I've actually worked with archaeologists to be able to find ancient burial sites and ancient burial caves and stuff, because once the imprint is there, there's nothing that erases it.
Wow. Okay, so this is such a fascinating topic,
Mhm.
and people may not even recognize what the term remote viewing is. So if you could just take a few steps back and just explain, what it is that you're doing, clarify what the difference is between that and maybe an out of body experience, just to
Yeah,
help
they're very
people
different.
understand. Yeah.
Okay, so remote viewing is the ability to be able to perceive a distant person, place, or thing in the entire universe without knowing absolutely anything about the target. So basically, when you're working on a target, because I have a few here,
Mm.
what you get is an envelope with a series of numbers on it. And they will task you with telling them what's in the envelope, what's it about, what does it look like? If there's a story behind it, what is the story? And so it's actually a CIA operative thing that Stanford Institute and the Monroe Institute, the CIA all came up with. It's a government protocol to actually be able to systematically get psychics to tune in or intuitive people to tune in. And they used this during the Cold War with Russia because there was rumors that Russia was working with psychic spies. So then the US wanted to work with psychic spies. And so this program actually went, I believe, from the 70s all the way up to 1995, 1996. It was a very successful thing that they were doing. And I was actually trained by Joe McMoneagle, who was remote viewer 001. He was the very first remote viewer. And so, yeah, I was trained by him. I was trained by Paul Elder. So there is training behind that. I am naturally very intuitive. So did that help? Yeah, maybe. The program definitely helped me to understand my abilities. So I would absolutely recommend the Monroe Institute to anyone who wants to learn coordinate remote viewing or the systematic approach to psychic phenomenon. That's what it is. But the thing is that with this, you have no idea what's in the target, right?
Yeah.
So that is remote viewing. You're not supposed to know anything about the target, nothing. Or else it's called front loading. You're giving the remote viewer information about it. You can't do that, or it's not remote viewing. Now, with psychic sensing, I can tune into you because you're right in front of me. You are the picture. I'm getting the image of the target, right?
Yeah.
But remote viewing is completely blind. You see nothing. You know nothing. Yeah, so there is a big difference. So now the difference between remote viewing and an outer body experience or astral travel, because astral travel and outer body experience, exact same thing, different language or different wording. With remote viewing, when I'm working on a task or a target, I'm right here. My consciousness is right here. I am tuning in. I'm writing it down. I'm not going anywhere. I'm in my meat suit. I'm in my body, the meat suit, right? However, when you're having an out of body experience, it's called an out of body experience because you are literally peeling yourself out of your body and going to different dimensions, walking through walls. You travel at the speed of thought. I know because I was professionally trained on how to do it. There really is a way in, a systematic approach. And I truly believe that the only difference between a skeptic and a believer is the experience. Because once you've walked through walls for yourself, no one can take that from you. No one can say it didn't happen. And the issues that I have with the scientists or the government and the powers that be, they don't want us to know how powerful we are. They don't want us to know that we can actually transcend this dimension while we are still stuck in this reality. We can actually come out of this body, out of this carcass. We don't have to die to do it. But how many people know that? And the thing is that it's kind of hard. It's hard when you're trying to do it consciously because you're trying to stay awake. Now, the process, it's called the hypnagogic state. That is the state that you want yourself to be in order to be able to get out. So the hypnagogic state is that in between sleep and awake. And what you're doing is you're training your body to go to sleep while your mind is staying awake. And that way you can literally will yourself out of your body. And there's many different ways that you can come out. You can actually roll out of your body. You can sit up. You can get kind of sucked up through the crown. For me, I felt myself sitting up. Like I felt myself raising out of my body. And it was like, oh my God, it's
Oh my
happening.
gosh.
It's happening. You feel like buzzy energy. So the way I did it was there was breath work involved. I listened to certain frequencies in order to get my brain state in the right state in order to come out. All of these things are what lock us in our grid, right? And if we think we can't do it, we're not even going to be able to attempt it and get out, right? So your belief systems, it can be a real barrier. So you got to come at it where I'm excited. I'm ready to shoot out of my body. I'm ready for this. No fear, absolutely no fear. Fear will also trap you in your body, in your meat suit, right? I think that's why they always want to keep us in a state of fear, because we're trapped inside this reality when we're in a state of fear. It's immobilizing, right? So you transcend the fear, you transcend even the startle reflex. You have to transcend that. You know, when you're falling asleep and you feel yourself jolt, and
Yes.
that's actually you starting to come out of you naturally and then getting jolted back in. This is
Wow.
why babies jolt so much in their sleep, because they're not locked in their grid until they're about 3 to 5 years old. Now, with me saying that, I want you to go back. Think of your first memory. How old are you? You don't remember pooping in your diaper or breastfeeding on your mom. You don't remember that. No,
Mm-mm.
because you weren't in your meat suit yet. You weren't trapped
Mm.
inside of it. Memories start to form when the soul is fully integrated into this machine that we call a body, right? So we absolutely can come out of our body, but how many people know that or know how to do it? It's like learning karate. How many people are a black belt, or how many people can play the piano like Mozart? Right? Practice makes perfect. It really does. You have to train your spirit to get out of this meat suit, this grid.
Wow. So you have done that. You actually have had an out of body
Yeah.
experience. That is crazy to even think about. So, before we get back to the remote viewing, okay, you talked about how you came out. Like, where did you go? What did you see?
So you do the deep breathing, and then your
Yeah.
whole body starts to feel really, really, really fuzzy inside, almost like all the
Mhm.
molecules of yourself are speeding up, right? And then you'll
Yeah.
start to feel the waves
Mhm.
of energy,
Okay.
and
Okay.
then you can hear it. It literally sounds like static as you're coming out of your body. That's why I really know our spirit is a frequency.
Wow.
So it sounds like static, like a radio station. And so all of a sudden I sit up, and
Mhm.
for example, have you ever had the flying dreams that, or where you're falling and you
I
slam
don't
into your body?
I can't remember having one of those in recent years, no.
I'm going to send you frequencies for you to listen to if you really want to
Okay.
experience this stuff.
All
Because
right, we'll link them below too for
yeah,
everybody.
yeah, because it's amazing once you have the experience. It's mind-blowing. It really is, because then you're like, okay, if this is real,
Yeah.
what else is real? What else have I been lied to about and told it was
Right.
BS or conspiracy theory? Like, I shake my head at people who don't know that this is actually real. So, anyways, I came out of my body, and it happened when I was at home. So, I had just done the training for it, and I had gotten out of my body during the training, but I got sucked back in right away. My body jerked and I got sucked back in.
Mhm.
So, I went home and I continued trying. And that night, so I come out and I could see myself. I look down, there's my body on the bed. I'm like, oh my God, I'm out. It worked, it worked, it worked. And so, and you float, you don't have feet, you don't have body. You literally just see, like in a video game. It's sight. It's all sight. And you don't realize that you're staring at your own nose your whole life. Your nose is in your line of vision. You know, you don't see your nose anymore. There's no nose. And when you try to put your hands in front of you, it looks like a clear outline. Like, it's the trick.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. So
Gosh.
I floated downstairs to my kitchen. Now, here's the thing. A lot of outer body experiences happen at night because we do naturally do this all the time. It's just a matter of, do you know that you're out of your body, or are you in a dream, right? Like, but it does happen to all of us. So anyways, I float downstairs in my kitchen, and there's my son he's standing in his boxers. It's 12:30 at night, and he's got the fridge open. And here I am waving my arms through my son's waist going, Alex, look at me, I'm out of my body. He didn't even flinch. Then he closes the fridge, so the fridge light goes dark, and then he goes and he turns off the light in the kitchen. And so I go and try to turn the light on, and I could literally feel my arm go through the wall. And I couldn't turn the light on, and I'm standing in the dark. And then I had the thought to myself, oh my God, this is real. What else is real? Boom, I was back in my body.
Okay.
And then I scared myself. Because it was like, oh my God, it's real. Holy crap, it's real. Right. So I couldn't do it again for like a good 8-9 months. I scared myself back into my body.
Yeah.
So now I teach in the astral. There's a dimension, a place that I can astral project to. And it's a place of learning. And I can see people phasing in and out when they find me and when they go back. I've had people contact me and say, Patricia, you've been teaching me in my dreams. Thank you. And I'm like, yeah, I remember that. Yeah. But the thing is, people don't realize that this stuff is real. You can totally meet someone else in the astral and go and teach. And I remember even teaching this one group, look, you guys, all you have to do is think up and you float up, think down and you float down, because you travel at the speed of thought, right? You think it and you're doing it. And it feels like a roller coaster because you actually fly. Like, I remember what it's like to fly over treetops and dip my toes as I'm flying. I'm dragging my toes in the grass. Like, it's mind blowing to fly, but, and the sensations, like it's not dreaming. You know, when you're out, like when you're trained to get out, you know, when you're out.
Yeah.
So I try to time it where I notice the time right when I'm starting. And then when I wake up and come back, I notice the time. And usually I can stay out for about 7 to 8 minutes before I'm jolted back into my body. But you know, it's hard because you have to fight falling asleep. You have to fight the jolts, because any little thing that touches your body will jolt you back in. And then good luck getting out again that night.
Yeah.
The best time for me that I found in order to astral project is actually in the afternoon, when I go for a nap in the afternoon, because the hypnagogic state is not a deep sleep. It's that in between, just as you're drifting off. And when I take a nap, I don't go into a deep sleep. And usually the minute I can feel the door open with that, I'm like, okay, come on guys, let's go. And then I'm out and I can do it. So for me, an afternoon nap, or like I'm laying down for the afternoon, and it's easy for me to do it in the afternoon.
Oh my gosh. You're amazing. Wow. That is really neat.
But you could do it too. That's what I'm saying. I'll send you the frequencies. The other thing is it here. Oh my God, hold on. You want the best book to read where I know that this guy knows what he's talking about, because I read it. Like, dude's right on par. Hang on.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
This book.
Okay. What does that say there?
Astral Projection and Lucid Dreaming by Vincent Field.
Okay.
Definitely get this book. He knows what he's doing, the way he describes it, all of it. I know that this guy's actually doing it. So, yeah. Astral Projection and Lucid Dreaming by Vincent Field. Excellent book. I kind of want to call up the guy or email him and ask him to be on my YouTube channel to talk about it, because it is such a good book. I think I might do that. You should. Definitely, for sure. I'll help you find him if you need it. Me too. That'd be a really cool conversation, because he totally knows what he's talking about. The way he's laid it out and described it, he's in. He's doing it. Oh, that's awesome. So going back to remote viewing, something that I never understood that I was hoping you could explain was, every time I see people talk about it, so the numbers on the front of the envelope, what do they represent? Because that's the only clue you get to nothing. It's a left brain logic anchor. to get your left brain out of the way. Numbers and letters are all left brain. So it gives you something to tune into because it represents what's in the envelope, but that's it. It represents what's in the envelope. So it's a way in, it's a door opener. It anchors the left brain, gives the left brain something to focus on while the information comes through in images, in feelings, and sensations. That's what you want to pay attention to when you're doing the remote viewing, because the voice of the soul is feelings, it's emotions, it's empathy, compassion, all of that stuff is your door opener to remote viewing. So
so it's not like coordinates or anything like that.
No, not at all.
Interesting.
And for me, how I do my numbers, because I just started doing something called TikTok target practice for all the people who
your TikTok is blowing up with this. I want everybody to check it out.
You want to hear something funny? So I was like, what am I? Because I kept hearing, get onto TikTok. And I'm like, no, I don't know social media. I suck at making videos. And all of a sudden I heard TikTok target practice. I heard it in my head and I saw it. And so I said to Spirit, okay, if I'm going to make this video, you better show me the numbers that people are actually watching it. Well, it's at 29.8 thousand views. The one video that I challenged the universe on. The other ones are at like 5,000. And, I got one at like 500 views. But the one that I challenged the universe on, that's the one that has almost 30,000 views. So that was my first video with it. So we'll see how it goes. So
that's pretty cool.
How I do try to energetically encode my numbers. So I see my letters and numbers in color. I have something called synesthesia, and it's where my senses cross. So I can taste sound. I can taste numbers. Like it's the most bizarre thing ever. Anyways, so I see my letters and numbers in color. So when I look at the target, I'll pick out the colors of the target, and I know what colors are in this target because each number represents a very specific color. So like, for example, that I know that whatever is in here has blue, brown, orange, white, clear, and 7 is to say it's my target number 7. But 7 is gold. And I'll show you this target. So remember I said blue, brown, orangey yellow, white. This one's gold. This one's clear. Now, you'll see that those are the colors that are in the target. Right?
Yes. So for the listeners, we're looking at the,
but I'm the only one who does that. That's just my methodology. That normally it means nothing. Normally it means nothing.
Is that the Acropolis?
Yes,
Acropolis?
How do you say that? I was just there. I was just there in Greece, Italy, and Greece too. We went on.
Oh, amazing. How do you say the name of the location?
Acropolis.
Acropolis.
Parthenon. This is the Athens, Parthenon in Athens, Greece.
The Parthenon, yeah. Just for the listeners, I just wanted to make sure we called it out so they knew what we were.
That's a target, and that's a geographical imprint. So people could be drawing the triangle that was on top, or see the sun peeking through. This one was a target from a class I just did, and people nailed it. A lot of people said that they saw the sun peeking through the beams, and they drew this, and they drew this. Like going like this.
Wow.
So that's a hit. They're seeing it. When they're drawing this and this and this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then feeling the energy being pulled back in time versus being propelled forward in the future.
Yeah.
It's all, it'll come through. When you connect with the target, it'll come through. And I mean, I got strangers trying this stuff that have never heard of remote viewing, and they're nailing it and going, oh my God, I can't believe I saw that. So check out my TikTok channel. It's Patricia Monna. I think it's just Psychic Patricia Monna. I couldn't put intuitive consulting on it.
We'll link that too. Fair enough. Oh gosh, what was my question now?
I really wished that I could teach you this stuff. I wish you'd come to one of my retreats so I could teach you this stuff in person. You could blow your own mind,
I would love that. I feel like I'm due for a spiritual retreat personally, and I know anybody can really sign up. Everything's on your website.
Absolutely.
But I'm dying to learn, like anybody can learn this. You don't
Yeah.
have to have be born with a gift. And I
No.
think that's one of the messages I like to share with people is that you don't have to be born with something to pick it up.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. It's very, very, very teachable. I do it all the time. So
Yeah. Oh, I remember what my question was. So you can look at different events in time and, time doesn't exist. So have you gone back and observed anything interesting that you can share with us on what you've seen?
I got something for you. So back in 2020, IATV was all over me to do interviews and to be on the George Norrie show. And then I had the one producer who was very, very interested in alien technology.
Mm-hmm.
So he tasked me with remote viewing the Dome of the Rock. And once I described it, totally knew where I was. He says, okay, now go under it. He goes, go in it. So I start describing the inside. He goes, no, go under it. So I bring my
Mm-hmm.
consciousness down and go under it. And this is back in 2020. I saw the Ark of the Covenant under there. I saw specific, like, I saw these statues where one almost looked like half of a bird and then half of a man. And there was a few of them down there. I also saw these rods, like it looked like Egyptian rods down there. Anyways, it's just come out that that the Ark of the Covenant is believed to be under the Dome of the Rock. So I thought that was very interesting because it's like, I said that.
Yeah.
Back in 2020. I told you guys that. So it's interesting to see how things come out later
Yeah.
on and how they turn out. But yeah, I'm pretty good at being able to go project my consciousness into a target and actually look around and get the whole story of what's going on. So normally with remote viewing, you just get the little glimpses. People will just see little tiny glimpses like a triangle or a circle, or you know what I mean? For me, for some messed up reason, I get the whole story. Like if I can get into it and I'm going to be honest, not every target can I see into for whatever reason. Is it a bad day? Is it I'm just off? Is it whatever? Yeah, absolutely. I'm human. But when I lock into the target, I can actually do a 360 and look around and see what happened. I can move my consciousness above, below, beside, so and then bring it out so I can see even more of what's happening in the area. So I think that there's way more to this stuff that I'm still discovering within myself. There's lots that I can still learn. It's mind-blowing what we're capable of.
Yeah. Have you ever been approached by a government agency and asked, like, hey, do you want to work for us? I know it's a crazy question.
I do it all on a volunteer basis. I've never been paid.
Yeah.
I don't accept payment for missing person cases. I've been offered rewards. I've been offered money. I
Mhm.
will not take it. Even if it's a reward, I will not take it. I'll donate it because I truly believe that if God gave me this crazy ass ability to be able to bring someone's loved ones home, I feel like it's my duty. I feel like I
Yeah.
have to, like I know who I work for and I wouldn't want to piss them off. So I'll do whatever I need to do and I'll do it for free with that. Because
Yeah.
nobody saves up for their loved one to go missing. So like I said, it's all on a volunteer basis. But yeah, I've been approached by agencies.
Yeah.
And I was actually tasked with something that they told me once they found it that they would let me know. And I found out in the news that they found what they were looking for. And it's like, oh, wow. Thanks, guys.
Oh my, so
I
they
haven't heard
never,
from them
called.
since. I have never heard
Oh,
from them again after they took the information from me. So I'm very careful with who I work with. And when it
yeah.
comes to missing person cases, I don't do looky-loos. If it's a cousin of a friend who went missing, no, I'm not looking into it. The only way I will look into a case is if it's the immediate family requesting my assistance or directly from law enforcement. It has to be.
I see.
Those are the only people that can actually take my information and get stuff done with it.
Right.
Right? Because if
That
it's
makes
just a friend of a friend, they're just going to curious. I don't have time for that. I'm way too busy for curiosity because sometimes it can take me an hour. Sometimes it can take me a week working on a case because the information comes in drips and drabs and I'm not understanding it or putting the pieces of the puzzle together. Right?
Yeah.
So, and it's intricate because a search can cost up to $40,000-$60,000. So you kind of got to be accurate. You have to be accurate with this stuff, or you're sending these people on a wild goose chase, and that is not good for your reputation.
No.
So that's
Yeah.
why I will only take cases directly from law enforcement or immediate family.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I can see there's a lot of risk with it, with
Yeah.
your reputation. So you really have to feel like this is something that you can actually help.
Well, and with remote viewing, I'm also very careful with the request. So I'm going to give you a little
Yeah.
example of why, girl, you never want to win the lottery. Don't wish that upon yourself. So I've read for 3 lottery winners, all of them, it's destroyed their life. So I had this one guy who approached me, very bad man, into bad things. And he says to me, he goes, my grandfather, there's a property out east that my grandfather owned it, and he used to let Al Capone go up through his property during the Prohibition days from Chicago.
Wow.
And he says to me, he goes, there's at least $250 million that is buried on this property. Can you help me find it? And I'm thinking, yeah, I could do that. I can sniff out money. It's got a vibration, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll think about it. Well, I go to meditate about it. Listen to this. So I'm looking, I see exactly where the money is. I also see a pile of dead bodies.
My
So
God.
I call up the guy and I said, you know that there's also a crap ton of dead bodies on that property as well, right? He goes, yeah, like it was nothing. He goes, yeah, I know. And I said, you know for sure? And he says, yeah, I know for sure. I said, how do you know this for sure? He goes, oh, because I've dug up a couple of them looking for the money. I said,
Oh my God.
I go, what did you
Just
do?
casual, like no big deal.
Like it was
Just
no big
found a
deal.
few bodies.
And then he says to me, he goes, do you think it's bad karma that I took the gold chain off the one corpse? He goes, yeah, I sold it. I pawned it. I was like, oh my God.
My
Yeah.
God.
I'd say your karma is pretty effed up, buddy. So anyways, I tell him no. Then my spirit guides show me exactly why it was a hard no. Oh, they gave me the example of, well, say I find this money and I'm a good person and I want to help you. I want to help you buy the house of your dreams. So I buy you the house of your dreams. Yeah, that burns down and takes your family with it. Or I want to buy you the car of your dreams. Yeah, the one that decapitates you on the highway. Like that's the karma. When there's bloodshed on money, it's an energy. The best thing that I could have ever done was left that money in the earth for Mother Earth to transmute that energy. Because it was greed, it was bloodshed, it was crime, corruption, all the things that I track and trace and put in jail.
Wow.
So it was easy for me to find that money. It was easy for me to spot where those bodies were. But for him to be able to validate that and say, yeah, I stole a gold chain off the body. Do you think my luck's bad? Yeah. Dude's been in and out of jail ever since. So it's like, yeah, I'd say that's your karma. So needless to say, that money's still there. Now, why is it that the lottery has an energy to it? I want you to stop and think, who buys lottery tickets? It's not millionaires who got their crap together. It's not people who are relying on it. Do you know what I mean? It's not happy people. You think about who buys a lottery ticket and it's an addiction. They're literally a lottery ticket or a carton of milk for my kid. Lottery ticket. Well, chances are it will win. Do you know what I mean? It's an addiction. It's greed. It's desperation. I just need this ticket because I could win $10 million. No, that is not the vibration to be in if you want to win it. But that's the vibration of those who pay into it. So when you get that money, that money has an energy to it, and it will be just as easy to lose, not just the money, but the family that you had before you were given that money. Because when you're given a chunk of money, look who comes to get it. Look who comes to peck at you out of the woodwork that you haven't heard in years. It's very painful to see how they react when someone's got money, right? So I don't touch the lottery. I don't buy those tickets, nothing, because I know what funds it. It's desperation. It's all of that. And it's a vibration that I wouldn't want to step into.
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, you always have to think. You have to think about that.
Now, I will say one thing. Would I pay into a 50-50 draw? Yeah, I would. Do you want to know why? Because when people are paying into the 50-50 draw, they're supporting their community. They're happy and excited because they believe that their team is going to win. One of my clients just won the 50-50, over $3 million at the Oilers game. You're good for him, but he needs to be careful or he could lose it just as quickly as it entered his life, right? So everything is energy. I would buy a 50-50 ticket because of the energy behind it before I would ever buy a lottery ticket, if that makes sense. Different energy.
Yeah, so interesting. And makes me think, like, just the cash that I have in my wallet, like where's that been? Where's that money energy come from? It's fascinating. I don't think about that stuff, but it's got me thinking now. Well, this has been so fun and such a fun conversation. I love talking to you. Gosh, you have so many fascinating stories. I know that we have to close up our conversation soon. So I just wanted to take a moment to reflect on the questions that I ask all my guests and get your thoughts again. The first being, what is one key takeaway you'd like our listeners to remember about consciousness and then the work that you do?
That you can do it too. It's so possible. Just like Jesus says in the Bible, all these things that I can do, you can do too. So it's very, very, very true. It's a vibration. It's a consciousness that you can merge with. And all of a sudden you hear the radio station singing the tune that you need to be listening to. So that's what I would say. Get into the vibration, open up your spiritual channels, and then watch the clarity to consciousness that you have.
And if someone's just beginning their journey, just starting their journey to intuition or, expanded awareness, what advice would you offer them?
Take a class. Come join me in Sedona, October 5th to the 10th. I only have literally one spot left. And I teach it for 5 days. Every day is a different excursion where I take you to all the vortexes, the sacred sites, how to be able to feel the different energies of the land because they're all different. We do activations. We sit around in our jammies and have breakfast together in the morning and chill out around the fire at night and do meditations. I teach you guys what I know. And I try to jam in as much information as I can in order for you to go back changed. It's a bucket list trip. It really, really is. And I know that a lot of people maybe only will go to Sedona once in their life. I want it to be the best damn trip that I could ever provide or ever want, so I try to think, what would I want in an amazing retreat? Because it's not just sitting there in a classroom. I've gone to some of these people's retreats and you're sitting there being lectured to. Heck no. We're out going on hikes. We're going to the sacred sites. We're meditating. I have a very special place that I'm taking you guys to that will blow your mind. You'll come back totally shifted, but I can't tell you where that is. That one's a surprise for everybody.
Oh man.
That's amazing.
Cliffhanger. Probably literally.
So join me in October if it speaks to you. Like I said, there's only one spot left. So yeah, come join me. And then I do have another one in Bragg Creek, Alberta. That's a weekend one. Same kind of thing, sitting around the fire. It's a beautiful, beautiful property that we have all to ourselves, 2 gorgeous houses. Like I said, have breakfast in our jammies and learn psychic development and remote viewing. And we do a bunch of stuff. So
yeah.
If you're it's on my website.
Yes, it's on our website. And I do want to just say, I know we just wanted to pause and just draw some attention to the retreats, because you're from Canada, I'm from the US. Sometimes the Americans here, we're getting a bad rap right now, but I assure you that being in Sedona is a magical place. You will not regret that.
Well, and you know what? I think that the narrative with the news right now is what's trying to divide us, because Canadians, we love Americans. But the rhetoric right now is so divisive that we're literally being told not to go down to America, which is so ridiculous. And there are stuff that they're saying out there. Like, I just went on a trip to Miami, and when I mentioned to people that I was Canadian, they were like, "Oh, thank you so much for coming down. We love Canada. We hate what's going on, but man, we love you guys." And I was welcomed more being Canadian now than I've ever been. So thank you, my American people that I met. That was so reassuring for me.
I'm so glad. Yes. And you're much loved here too on this podcast. My last question for you is, in your opinion, what does it mean to live life consciously?
In the moment, completely in the now. I heard a saying that kind of sums it up. It says, depressed people live in the past, anxious people live in the future, peaceful people live in the present. Stay so present in the now that the future isn't fearful and the past no longer clings to you. Stay in the now. That's where the freedom is. Do not worry about something that's going to happen. Chances are it's not going to happen the way you're worrying about it. It'll happen better or worse, but who cares? In this moment, it doesn't control you unless you allow it. So stay in the now.
Such wise words. Thank you so much, Patricia.
Thank you for having me. It's been wonderful.
Yeah, you've done an amazing job demystifying these complex topics like out-of-body experiences and remote viewing. So I so appreciate it. And as a reminder, everybody, if you're listening and you're feeling called to explore remote viewing or strengthen your own intuitive abilities, there's no better teacher than Patricia. I really recommend you check out her website and check out her retreats. I will link everything below. Her programs are incredible. I've taken a few of her classes myself, and they're fantastic. Anything else you would like to leave us with, my friend?
Have a beautiful, magnificent summer. And I will. Okay, tidbit, piece of advice, SOS call for humanity. Okay, you guys. Be careful that you're not making dumb decisions. Over the last couple of weeks, I've noticed a shift in our reality where it is either we are experiencing some sort of timeline shift or some sort of, I don't know, Mandela effect, but people aren't making clear decisions right now. So you guys really, really think about what you're doing. Make sure you're dotting your I's, crossing your T's if you're signing anything or making any big decisions. I have a feeling that this energy is going to be with us until about the end of August. So heads up. It might be a little harder to have clarity.
Okay. Well, we're all about clarity here. So thank you for that message and being more vigilant. And I appreciate all of you listening. Thank you for joining us for these 30 episodes. It really means a lot. I appreciate you helping me grow this community by sending this to a friend who really needs to hear this message or who would be fascinated by learning more. Until next time, keep seeking clarity. Bye for now. Before we part ways, I want to express my deepest gratitude to each and every one of you for tuning in. Your curiosity and openness make this journey all the more meaningful. As we navigate the realms of consciousness together, please follow our podcast for more captivating conversations. If you enjoyed what you heard, why not share the love, rate and review on your favorite platform, and help us reach more seekers on this enlightening path. And hey, the conversation doesn't end here. Dive into the show notes for additional insights, resources, and details about today's discussion. Your journey to clarity continues beyond this episode. Thank you so much for being a part of the Clarity to Consciousness community. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the boundless possibilities of your consciousness. Take care and much love to you all.